Welcome to Diet.com video. I'm Stephen Cabral and I'm here today with Bailey. We're about to take you through a 60-second TRX interval for your abs, core, lower back. Let's go. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is put this TRX mat, but you can use a towel at home and really you can use any pad at the gym. I'm gonna have Bailey kneel down with both knees facing the TRX and she's gonna grab both handles. If you're wondering where to put the handles, right about knee height or just slightly higher. The lower you go, the more challenging this exercise is for your abs. So, of course, go a little higher, make it a little bit easier. All right, Bailey's gonna keep her abs and core muscles in nice and tight. She's gonna make sure not to lower or arch her lower back as she's coming in. And I'm gonna have her very slowly start to move out with her arms. Her hips are gonna come forward, she's breathing in, and then she's gonna pull back. Good. So I recommend, let's have you keep going with that to about 15 repetitions. Her abs are gonna stay in tight, her hips aren't gonna drop. I recommend only going about like 6 inches or so on your first one, just to make sure that you can gauge that your shoulders are strong enough, that your abs are strong enough, that you can do that no problem. If you find it too challenging, just go out as far as you can and then start to come back. As your abs get stronger and as your nervous system can tell your muscles better what to do, you'll be able to go out further and further. And then you'll be able to drop the TRX down a little bit lower and get closer to the ground. Because the closer your nose comes to the ground at the very end, the harder it is on your abs and core. Good, let's do a few more reps. Big thing, big takeaway right here is that you don't let your lower back arch because your back's gonna wanna go like this if your abs aren't in nice and tight. So breathe in, good, come back, breathe out, and then your hips stop here. Now, if you were to bring your hips way back onto your heels, it would allow your abs to rest, so we don't wanna do that. So right to there, good, and then right back out. And let's go for 2 more reps, okay? Breathe in, great job. Back, exhale, right to my hand. Okay, one more time. And exhale, excellent. All right, so the next one we're gonna do, keep these right about knee height. I'm gonna move this pad out of the way. That's for your abs right there, and a little bit for your obliques stabilizing. Bailey's gonna put both of her feet in the soft part of the TRX strap, not on top of the hard part. All right, she's gonna face out now the opposite direction. You can easily do this at home, just sticking one foot in. I'm just gonna help Bailey out a little bit right there, good. And then the other foot right back in. All right. So we just make sure the TRX is level, that's perfect. And you don't wanna walk your hands out too far. So you wanna now lift your, knees right off the floor into a push-up position. It's very important to stay here just for about 5 seconds because you want to stabilize. You want to make sure your legs aren't moving back and forth. And the other thing is you don't want to lock out your elbow, so keep a little bit bent in the elbow. Perfect. I'm going to have Bailey start with the hard one, all right, the pike exercise. She's going to lift her hips up with her knees straight and she's going to pull them all the way up, good, right there above her shoulders. And then back down, don't arch the lower back, now right back up. So she's breathing out, now she's breathing in. Good, back up, breathe out. And then breathe in. Good, right back up. So she's gonna go for anywhere around 10, 12 to 20 repetitions. Once it gets to 20, you just wanna hold a little bit longer, keep a little bit tighter. The max I would ever say is 20 to 30 reps. If you're doing 50, 60 of these, it's too easy of an exercise. This is actually a very challenging exercise called a pike. We're gonna show you right now, this is again, it's working your abs, your obliques, a little bit of lower back. The lower back actually gets a great stretch right here, so do the hamstrings and glutes. Now, one thing to keep in mind is sometimes you can't do this exercise because your hamstrings are so tight, and that prevents you from stretching all the way up. Let's have you put your knees down for 1 second just to rest, because I made Bailey do about 10, 15 repetitions right there. All right, so we're gonna show you a little bit easier version of this, meaning like if you've never done the pike before, don't start with the pike, which is what we just did. Let's start with a knee pull-in. So let's have you walk your hands back out a little bit. All right, back in that push-up position. Now lift your hips, but pull your knees in, okay? So this is a knee pull-in, good. And then right back out, don't drop your hips, and then right back in. So this is a much easier version. And the reason why it's easier is you don't have to stretch your hamstrings, you don't have to bring your hips over your shoulders, which creates this, basically really long lever, and it takes that center of gravity and pulls it way over towards your head. This right here, center of gravity staying right around here near their hips, and then she's coming right back out. Good, let's just do a couple more reps. So always recommend start with this one. If you've already done this before, great, then move on to your pike. And one more. So she's still lifting the hips as she pulls the knees in. Awesome, crunching your abs. And that's it, take a quick break. So as you pull those knees in, you're literally crunching those abs. That's really important because it's not just for your hip flexors. You're not just pulling your knees in, you're actually crunching your abs at the same time. How'd that feel?
Oh, I can feel that so well in my lower abs.
Awesome, that looked really good.
Yeah.
And so, right here, those hip flexors are working, but the abs should as well. I know you're feeling it in both places. If you ever get, feel like you locked up too tight, just go from that yoga pose or this hip flexor stretch right here, and you can even raise one arm overhead. And that helps open up this whole area, basically creates the opposite of you getting crunched in. It's a really nice one for your abs and lower back. So we hope you enjoyed that video. We'll be back real soon with more videos from Diet.com.